Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer, so let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
Have you had any chocolate?
I had my chocolate. I ate it.
It's dark chocolate.
I know, it's good.
Do you like dark chocolate?
I love it.
Me too.
Rich says it's almost as bad as anything you can eat.
I don't give a shit what Rich
I'm
says.
just relaying some things that I've heard about dark chocolate.
That's great. Listen, all I have to say is I'm very excited about today's podcast.
Me too.
No one asked you, Lauren. Now, let me give you the rules of the Kill Me Now podcast.
Okay.
Our guest today is the incredible, wonderful, smart, funny.
Thank you. Is it me?
No.
Oh.
Talented. Talented. That's how you know it's not you. Sexy.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
She's a mother. She's a wife.
Mm-hmm.
She's a MILF.
You know what? I had a joke ready to go, and you fucked it up, Lauren.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, boss.
Lauren.
She's a mother. She's a wife.
Yeah.
She's a slut. Ladies and gentlemen, here today on Kill Me Now is the one, the only, Bonnie McFarlane.
Thank you,
Bonnie
everyone.
McFarlane.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for being here.
Thank
now,
you.
Bonnie, you know Lauren,
Yes.
who is transgender-ish.
Yes.
And
Debatable.
Lauren, I seem to think, shouldn't be talking as much as he thinks he should be talking.
I had this issue last night on doing a radio show.
Really?
And one of my friends was there. I let her sit in the thing, and then she babbled the whole time.
Really? What radio show? Was that your radio show?
You co-hosted it. You
Right.
sat in for me. My wife hates me.
Yeah, I know.
At
But who
Sirius
was the
XM.
other?
It was Andrew Schultz and Judah Friedlander were the guests.
And who didn't shut up?
My friend Kate from Montreal.
What happened? Was she co-hosting? Or
No.
you just let her sit there?
I just let her sit in that chair. Mm-hmm. Said you could say something if you want, but then in the middle you can't just start smacking someone.
Well, I can.
Shut the fuck up.
Right. And why
she does.
Lauren, speaking of Judah Friedlander, he's supposed to be on, he can do that stupid radio show and he can't be on my podcast.
I know. I keep asking him.
Well,
And what does he
he
say?
said last night that he does not like you at all.
That's so funny because we made out at the Cellar the other night.
You made out with Judah?
No, I'm a lesbo.
No.
Oh, all right. Anyway, so Bonnie, Kill Me Now. We do talk about things that piss us off
Right.
the most. I did have a major Kill Me Now moment this week, which has probably never happened to you. But I went to this, this little boutique store that's on Broadway right here. And, it's like this French one. What is with your phone, Lauren?
I'm doing things for the show that you don't normally see because we're not normally at your kitchen table.
Anyway, so
I thought that was a great answer.
I don't understand him at all, and it's really hard. That's all I have to say. It's really hard.
Really
I have
hard.
Henry, who's 18, Ben, who's 13, and Lauren, who is annoying. All right, anyway, but I love him. Anyway, here's the thing. So
You get
I go
that.
to this boutique. I can't buy clothes, so this is a big problem. I'm 6'2"-ish. I'm large build. I have very broad shoulders, very large cock, and very large feet.
Right.
And so it's hard for me to buy clothes. So I find this boutique from this French woman who opened and she buys all these clothes in Paris, and they're great. And I walk in, and because I saw something in the window, and I go in. Meanwhile, I end up. Elise and I, we're lesbos, so we like to, we go shopping together, and so. I end up buying all this stuff. It's fits me perfectly. Everything is 75% off. And I had to go to the Penn and Teller opening.
That's a great price.
Is it not? Is it not?
God.
So I had to go to the Penn
I
and
like
Teller.
those numbers.
Okay. Anyway, so I have to go to the Penn. Did I mention I went to the Penn and Teller opening?
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so I'm going to
yes.
the Penn and Teller
Who's
opening
Penn
with
and Teller?
Elisa.
Just
And-
Was there a red carpet?
Yes, there was.
So you did. You had to get something glam.
I just wanted to look great and feel comfortable. So, and these clothes are great and they're hip and cool. And I had the whole outfit picked out. And I decided, I have very bad ADD, and to the point where I literally will be late because I think I have enough. I always think I have enough time, and I never have enough time.
But you suffer also from never wanting to be too early. Is that fair to say?
I never want to be too early.
Right. So then you're
because
always coming
why?
up to the edge.
Right, and I always come up to the edge where, oh no, I can get ready in this amount. No, I can't. And I don't realize how long things take.
Yeah.
This is a complaint that Elisa has, and I really don't ever realize how long. I don't give it enough time. Anyway, so I decided for this, and I do have these little fits before I go out. So it's like, oh my God, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing... Like, it's never my fault. It's God.
God's fault.
It's God. I even will do a Jesus thing, even though I'm Jewish. It's a lot of God, Jesus, And I bargain. I do the whole like,
go
I
through the,
promise
like, 7
tomorrow.
stages
Of grief.
Religion can be handy.
So anyway, I don't like the way I feel, but I do it all the time. So I decided for this Penn and Teller thing, I was going to get ready. Elisa had to run home, get contacts, and I was going to do. I said, I will do your makeup. Leave your outfit here. She likes when I do her makeup. And I'm going to be ready, and we're going to have no issues, and we're going to be there on time. So anyway, I get all ready. I'm all ready. She's supposed to be there at like 10 to 7. She doesn't show up. I'm like, no problem. 7 o'clock will be fine. She doesn't show up at 7. But I'm all ready except for my outfit. So I start putting on my outfit that I bought at the store. And I'm like, wait, this blouse, I think, is supposed to be bigger. Wait, no, maybe this goes with this. It's like a granimally, like a lot of the things could go with each other. Anyway, the point is that she gave me the wrong fucking size, okay?
Shit.
She gave me the wrong size. What? I was like, God, why? Why do I go in the store? I tried the thing on. I handed it to her, and yet in the bag it's a fucking wrong size. And it wasn't even, it was like, I'm a size 7 in this French thing.
Right.
And guess what she gave me?
4.
1! A size 1! I'm sorry for yelling. Whoever's listening, I'm really sorry.
No, but
a
that's
size 1.
not-
It's not even, I know it looks like a 7, but it's a fucking 1. So then I was like crying. And
Can you go back? Is it closed?
I did. No, it was closed by then. And then I called her. So then I put together an outfit I didn't want to wear. Like my white pants. I'm always wearing my white Eileen Fisher crop jean pants that I got like 3 years ago. And like, I just didn't want to wear them.
Cute.
Anyway, the point is, I wanted, I fucking, and I
Right, you
don't
went
know why does
specifically
that
there.
happen to me?
Because-
And then Elisa says to me, oh, you talk to her too much. You know what your problem is? You talk to the merchant.
She blames the victim.
She always blames me. She
What were you
always blames me,
wearing?
even though it's happened. This shit happens. Has that ever happened where you went to a store and then
No, this does happen to you. This is
all the time,
this
right?
is your thing.
No one understands.
If
Like people, I'll go to a cash register and they'll literally be like, "Oh my God, I don't know what's going on. This hasn't happened before. Can you just wait?" I swear to God,
Every time.
I go to the gym all the time. I'll touch a treadmill or something, a bike, and all of a sudden it won't work.
I wonder if.
And then I go to another bike and it works. And then someone else comes and sits on the bike that I was on, and I'm like, it doesn't work. And then they go on and it works.
Right. I've had that
Do you
happen.
think I have bad? What do you think I'm like?
Well, some people do have a weird thing.
I think your energy,
their body energy is
that you're giving out.
But I give positive energy. Like, I'm happy. I was happy that I found those clothes.
Maybe you just need to learn how to redirect your energy in a different way. And
Did
I
you
think
hear
you
a
can
voice?
do that by.
What's that?
Did you hear a voice? Someone talking about redirecting energy?
Let me fix.
What do you
that.
mean redirecting my energy?
I just think that we give out sound vibrations, and that's
Oh
the
God, I can't.
Oh,
anyway,
my God.
energy. That
Bonnie,
we-
And if you think positive thoughts, you get everything. You
No,
ever
this is
wanted.
this was my other.
That's
thing.
one of the things that
Scientific.
bugs me is when people talk about the secret. Oh, I can't take it.
No. I'm not talking
Yeah,
about.
no,
the
it's
secret.
all the same shit and about how to be positive. First of all, if you're a comedian, you shouldn't be positive. You shouldn't be positive.
can't
all the
be
time.
fucking positive.
Your whole job is to try to tear apart what's going on.
No,
I'm
this
not
is the
trying
best.
to change Judy at all.
Look,
I'm just trying to.
It's not going to
dare.
happen. Listen, I was in the show Clinton the Musical that you and Rich didn't have time to see. And I was sharing a dressing room with Carrie Butler, who's Tony nominated, like, amazing talent. Anyway, and so she's really petite and skinny and has a perfect body, and it's really annoying. And I would get changed. I am very immodest. Like, I'll walk around there without any clothes. Like, I don't care.
No.
And... yeah, I do.
I've seen Judy's boobs like 14 million times.
Okay, Elisa, jealous. And so...
don't worry.
Anyway, the point is that I was like, oh my God, look at me. And I always make fun. I always tell everyone in the cast, listen, I'll be in my underwear and I'll be like, my glute DVD, Golden Glutes, is coming out. I want you to guys, it's going to be really great. And then I turn around, Anyway, so, and then I'm like, hey guys, can you come to the opening of my new ab video? But anyway, so I was like, oh my God, look, I don't know, I felt enormous and bloated. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so fat. And then someone young from like wardrobe or hair or something, comes in and says, Judy, if you keep saying that you're fat, all you're going to see is fat.
Oh, God. That's like,
you know what?
That stuff.
The reason all I see is fat, because I have fat.
Yeah.
I have a little fat.
Well, that bugs me too. I don't even want people...
So if I say I'm not fat, then I could be like, oh my God, I am not fat. I mean, I have to lose 30 pounds, but I'm not fat. Like, no!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the secret. That's somebody's
secret.
Trying to get the secret in there.
I'm sick of it.
Well, here's the secret. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about science.
Okay, Lauren, I don't know where that came from.
I don't think saying like positive energy flows.
All right, we're done with this conversation.
Science.
You know what? I got out of hand.
I want to talk to Bonnie McFarlane about Bonnie McFarlane, not about Rich Boss.
Thank
but
you.
about
Although
Barney,
usually that's where I'm
Barney
directing my hate.
McFarlane. So Bonnie, you grew up in Canada.
Yes,
On a farm.
Yes.
I'm fascinated by this. So
Okay.
I found out that you grew up on a farm where you literally would get up in the morning and chop the chickens' heads like you were...
Well, I didn't do that every day, but that was like, once a year we would have to harvest the chickens.
Like the whole family?
Yeah.
Like, was that a family outing?
That was a family thing. My job and the neighbor would chop the heads off, and the chickens would run, and my other sister would...
the chickens would run without their heads?
Yes, and then my sister would grab the chickens wherever they fell. And sometimes at the end of the day, you'd have to keep... there's one under the car. You'd have to go find...
So did you feel guilty?
Fun.
Did you feel guilty about chopping the chickens' heads
Well,
off?
at the time, I really was seeking my father's approval.
Right.
So my sisters obviously didn't want to do it.
And do you still think you're doing that with being
Rich?
married to Richard?
Rich fulfills a lot of my family.
Okay. So you literally... And you have 3 older siblings? You're the youngest?
I'm the youngest.
Of 4.
Of 4.
Okay.
All girls.
All right. And so all of you did this? Participated in this?
Yes, but my one sister would cry throughout the whole thing.
Okay.
She was very tender-hearted. But she wasn't allowed to quit. I mean, she still had to do it.
So did your mother do this?
So so then my father, there'd be a big vat of hot water, and you dip the chicken in the vat of hot water and string them up, and so the blood would come out, and then you could take the feathers off them pretty easily from the hot water. I guess that was my sister's job, which she would cry,
the crying
doing
sister,
tears mingling with the feathers beneath. Yes, and
is she a vegetarian?
No, but I am. Yeah,
you're a vegetarian.
I'm a vegetarian. Yeah.
Wow. Now,
and then they'd go into where my mom would clean them and freeze them.
Oh, your mother did the cleaning and all the.
Yes.
Of course, because she's a woman.
That's right.
Now, did you? At what age did you become a vegetarian?
Around 19, I was a vegetarian, and then.
And did you come home and your parents were like
horrified?
What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
How did they speak? Were they educated? Were they?
Well, my mom's educated. My mom's a school teacher. My dad's a farmer, probably 8th grade education. Right.
And
he grew up in an era where the boys had to quit school in 8th grade to work on the farm.
Right.
Wow! And he met your mother, the school teacher. How'd they meet?
She was in the same town on a farm.
Right.
I mean, she started teaching school when she was 19. If it was nowadays, she'd definitely probably fuck the students. She'd be one of those. Well, she was pretty hot, and the first class she taught was high school. She was just a few years older than everyone else.
And did she go to college?
She went to college for 2 years.
That's not high school teaching.
Well, then later in her career, they said you need 4 years, and so she went back summer schools and night schools. And
oh my God, I love her.
Yeah.
Now, what did they talk? Was your father smart?
My dad's a smart guy. He's invented a lot of things. That he would make, like a potato planter. He invented, which went on the back of a tractor, and then you could just drop potatoes in, and then the earth would cover over.
That's fantastic.
Top of them. It was a pretty.
And what did they talk about? What did they talk about?
My parents.
Did they have?
They did not fight. I do remember them when they fought. They would go to the garage and have their fight.
Did your father ever try to chop your mother's head off?
No, there was no domestic violence. Although I do remember once my father was trying to get my mom to do something, help him with the truck was stuck or something, and he was yelling at her. She wasn't driving it properly, and she slammed the truck door and walked into the house and said, "If you wanted if you wanted a man to help you, you should have married one."
Yeah! Oh, I love Bob. What's your mother's name?
Heather.
I love Heather.
Yeah.
Heather? Who was a mother named Heather?
Sorry,
My mother's
I
name
couldn't
was
do
Ruth.
anything about it.
Heather? Heather's
Heather.
like my age. Is your mother my age?
No, Heather. I mean, Heather was like an old-fashioned name for a long time. It just kind of got popular again.
Well, your father married her because Heather
And
rhymes
his
with
name
feather.
is Carl.
Hey, his name's Carl. Is so German.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're living. How close is your closest neighbor?
It's like a half mile.
What?
Yeah.
So like,
But I'll tell you something. What we did every day that you won't believe, that I even have a hard time believing now, is we all had horses, so we rode horses every day. Like
No way.
like bicycles. Yeah.
like to little house, like you'd go to your
the
neighbors on the
neighbors,
horse and then
to
you'd
the
ride-
beach, yeah.
What was your favorite horse's name?
Well, we all had our. Well, Candy was the mom, and then she had two. Babies or whatever. So
Yeah.
Licorice and Soda Pop were
Which
the two
did you like
babies.
better? Licorice or-
Well, Licorice and Soda Pop were not trained as well as Candy, so we all. You
wanted candy.
You wanted candy.
So, like, when I would get in the car and be like, I want the front seat, you guys would be like, I get candy!
Well,
Is that-
she was the hardest to catch, though, because she was
Right.
wily. But you would just take your bridle out, and you would just go get whatever one you could get, and then you jump on, no saddle or anything.
This reminds
rad.
me
You
so much of my childhood in New Jersey. I can't even tell you.
In Clark.
Yeah, Clark, New
Yeah,
Jersey.
yeah.
All right, so...
I mean,
but were you guys really close, the sisters?
well, we were. I mean, we fought a lot and stuff, but yeah, we were
Because
really,
you were... wow.
because we were. that's who we hung out.
What was your school like? Were is it like a one-room schoolhouse?
No, it was. There's actually an Air Force base really close by the town, and so there was a lot of kids from the Air Force base that were actually pretty worldly because they'd been to a lot of
Right.
different places, and this was just one of the stops. And then the small town and then a lot of like rural farm people. So it was a mix. There was a lot of drugs. There was a lot of fighting.
Did you ever ride a horse stoned?
No. Oh my God. No, I never did.
Really?
No.
Or drunk?
No, I don't think so. I think we stopped running to get the horses at that age.
Because kids, that's what I'm worried about. Henry's getting his license. Like, I'm like, you cannot. And he's like, I won't. But then,
we drove drunk.
Yeah,
all
I know.
The
Unbelievable.
time.
Oh, well, out in the boonies.
I mean,
like
it wasn't that big of a deal, I guess. But
Yeah,
it
it really
still,
isn't a big deal driving drunk now.
If you do it with friends. it's
Okay,
fine.
so you have 3 sisters.
Three
One
older
of them is mentally disabled. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yeah.
Which one is she?
Lynn is the second oldest.
And you're very close with her.
She's the best. She's amazing.
I think they're angels.
Well, it's interesting because I've heard people say like that they're so innocent or they're so. I mean, Lynn has exactly the same problems as everybody else. It's just she's been like she wants to find someone that's going to love
Right.
her. If she could get on Tinder, she would.
Right.
If, she has a job. She has her dramas at her job and. She gets angry. She gets very frustrated.
Right, she has feelings. Of
She has
course.
absolutely the same
Right.
range.
And
she
you're
has a lot
close.
of dietary stuff where she's supposed to be gluten free because she has celiac disease and she loves bread.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Who
like
doesn't love bread?
it's like a crazy thing though because it's like so much effort put into trying to figure out how to get Lynn to not eat bread because it really fucks with her stomach and. she'll take back bottles. She'll find bottles and take them back, so she has the money to go buy these panini buns at the mall. And
does she live with your parents?
No, she lives in her own apartment, but there's really good programs in Canada where she lives, and so there's a worker that comes in 3 or 4 times a week.
That's
and my sisters still live there, and my mom still lives there. So
you're the one that got out.
I got out.
Is your father alive?
Yes, my parents are both still alive. My father was sent home to die when I was little from cancer, and we all went and said goodbye to my father, and he's still living.
Wow.
Guess the joke's on us.
Yeah. Did you ride Candy to go say goodbye, or did you have to get on licorice? Or
I had to do licorice.
Oh, fuck! I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But once you do licorice,
What? Wait a minute.
you never. No. Anyway,
I like that you remember the names. I don't think Rich has ever asked me these questions.
right? Because he is an idiot. Okay.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
Okay, so you grew up on the farm, and then you go to college. No?
Yeah,
Yes?
I went to college a little bit. Yeah.
What'd you study?
I
Were you a
took
good
radio and
student?
television arts at NAIT, Northern Alberta Institute of
Okay.
Technology.
Were you a good student in high school?
I always got by very easily, so if
Right.
things got a little hard, I didn't do so well, but
Right.
yeah.
And how about your sisters?
They had a little bit of a harder time. I remember my sister Andrea being angry because I was in an advanced math, so I took math with her, and then
And she was like,
you never study, it's not fair.
So what do they do?
So my sister Andrea is she's a principal at a
Oh, wow. At a school?
at an inner city
Right.
school in
Where?
Edmonton.
In
Edmonton, Alberta.
Yeah.
And my oldest sister Audrey runs a nonprofit that she started for fetal alcohol syndrome, and she's opened a I don't know what you call it, like a clinic for women can come and live there if they're pregnant and have an alcohol.
Oh my God, I love Andrea.
That's Audrey.
I mean,
know
Audrey.
that's
or
weird
whatever.
that my mom.
Why
named
is
them
that
so
Andrea
similar.
and Audrey?
I know.
And
It's
Lynn.
It's a
Bonnie.
And Bonnie.
and then
So listen, well, and are they married and have kids?
yes, Lynn is not. Audrey,
Right, I know.
but,
She wants to go on Tinder.
Yeah.
Now, when you're... All right, so you then become a comic on a dare. Like someone said, why don't you join this contest and you win?
Yeah.
And had you ever done stand-up before that?
That's not really exactly true. I had done stand up before a couple of times, or maybe
In the
I
barn?
can't remember,
Like, where'd you go?
less than 6 times.
Right.
What happened was that I was going to write novels and stuff, and
Right.
then work in advertising,
Right,
and
yeah,
like
of
this
course.
whole plan. And it wasn't paying the bills. Can
What?
you believe that?
You're
It's so
lying.
crazy. So
you are so full of shit.
I don't know. I did write like weird stuff. Like I wrote like pamphlets, safety. I got
Right.
weird jobs. I wrote some menus one time.
That's great.
You know,
I love
like
menus.
weird.
Now,
I'm very good at describing.
so you go into comedy.
food items.
Had you ever met a Jew around your farm?
Nobody that admitted to being one. So it's
Really?
possible. Our neighbor, when I got older, his last name was Myers, so he might have been Jewish.
Mike Myers isn't Jewish.
Oh,
You know, a lot of them, if they went back in their lineage, they would realize they're
Right.
Jews, and then they all had to change the names because I don't know if you realized, as my mother said, everyone hates us. so you get into the stand-up world.
Yes.
Where did you move first in the United States of America? Where'd you move?
Oh,
to?
I moved to New York first,
Right.
and sort of a little bit by accident, I just came and then never really kind of went back, and got a work visa.
Right.
Did it legally. You know, okay,
You did
this
it
is an
legally?
interesting story.
Yeah.
I was doing stand-up. I was in Toronto, and I didn't have a TV for years. I don't know how I missed
Right.
everything because I didn't have a TV. And I saw Caroline's Comedy Hour, and I was like, oh, I got to get on the show. I got to
Right.
figure out how to get on the show. So I called Caroline's in New York City, and I asked to be put through to the person who books the TV show, and they didn't know what I was talking about. And I was like, who books the comedians? And they put me through to Joe Falzarano. And I said, I want to be on the TV show. And he was like, I don't know. He spent a long time on the phone with
Right.
me, and he asked me what I looked like, stuff like that.
No
And
way.
then, yeah. And then he said,
Well, we have to tell the kids. This is before the internet.
Yes, this is a long
and the
time
phones
ago.
and the texting.
This is mid-90s.
Right.
So he said, I have some workmen in my office. They're fixing the ceiling. If you can, I'll put you on speaker. If you can make them laugh, I'll give you the show.
No fucking way.
So I had my book out, and I was... And
Tell me a joke. I'll be a worker.
I don't remember at all what I was doing at that time, but...
Did they laugh?
Yes, and also, but I was doing a little bit of crowd work, because I had been doing these horrible one-nighters.
Wait, so you auditioned for Caroline's Comedy Hour on the phone while someone was fixing Joe Falzarano's
and
ceiling.
he gave me the show. He gave me the show. So
I blew Joe Falzarano and didn't get the show.
Yes,
I'm kidding.
this is good.
I did get the show in 80. I was on the first show because someone missed their plane.
So they called you at the last minute?
At the last minute, and I killed. It was like
Your story.
amazing. That was my first.
I think I was on the last season, maybe the last.
Oh yeah,
group.
mine was like 89 or something.
Yeah, that show went for a while.
Yeah. Wow.
So I went and I got. Well, and then I couldn't get through the border. I kept getting turned around. I was trying to take a bus to go do the show,
Right.
and I didn't pay for a return ticket. So they wouldn't let me through. They said, you're going to become a vagrant. And
they were right.
And,
so,
yeah.
all right, so you come
But
to
I managed to get through eventually, and I bombed really bad on the show.
What did Joe
Really bad.
Falzarano
I cried
say?
after. I was in the bathroom crying, and they were like, we still need you for the opening segment. You know, they film at the end,
Yeah.
like you standing there smiling.
Yeah, you're standing there like, oh my God, this is going to be fun.
And so the makeup lady was like, oh God. So
Right.
she fixed me up, and then I went out there, and I couldn't hold a smile, and the cameraman was like, just hold it a little more, because I'd been crying, and
Yeah.
I was like...
Oh. So wait a minute, did anyone try to comfort you?
No, but there was an ugly writer that came up to me after and was like, is there anybody you want to meet? And I was like, I guess I want to meet Janine Garofalo. So he took me over to meet Janine, and she was like
Sweet.
Hi.
Oh my God.
But I was too nervous.
And you were by yourself?
Yes.
You didn't know
no,
anyone?
No. What happened was that Jeff Sussman swooped in, and so he became my manager.
Now,
Bing.
so you grew up around no black people and no Jews? No Latinos?
There was a black family where I grew up. He was the doctor, and my dad loves to tell this story that he was driving somebody, one of his relatives somewhere, and they passed by the doctor's house, and he was out mowing his lawn, and they said, well, that guy's really rich.
Oh, God. That's great. Your father must have been thrilled. and
My
proud.
father's probably telling that story right now.
Okay.
Because
So
he loves so much.
you come to New York. And what did you know about the Jews? Like, did you watch TV and see Jews? Or, like, what was the...
There is I read a lot when I was younger,
Right.
and I said to my mom, what are Jews? Because I'd been reading stories, and sometimes they'd say, you need to find yourself a nice Jewish man. And my mom looked at my dad and said, I think we should get her a Woody Allen movie.
Oh,
So she was going to introduce me.
that's great.
But
This is what a Jew is, honey. Watch carefully.
it's a small neurotic man.
So
funny.
you go to New York, and Jeff. Did you have sex with Jeff Sussman, or was it
I did stay at his house,
Right, but no action.
But he was with his fiance.
Okay.
So I met her, and then I was like,
And
oh,
then
that was
you
okay.
dated Mark Cohen for
I
quite
did,
a while.
yeah. But you know what it is? I've always been just attracted to funny people, and
And they all happen to be Jewish.
they all happen to be Jews.
Now-
So that's why I'm just attracted. And they're Jewish men are verbal, which you don't
Right.
find sometimes.
And that whole
in other groups.
You know what's
of men.
amazing
So
is
are the
that
women- Cricket.
you know what. I don't know. I hear some feedback, but you know what's amazing is that whole stereotype of the Jewish husband is like he doesn't say anything. You're like,
Oh, it is?
Yeah, there's a joke. Their whole joke. Oh, what are you playing in? The guy comes home and says to his mother, I got in the play. I got a part in the play. Oh, what are you playing? I'm playing the Jewish husband. Oh, you couldn't get a part with any lines?
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know
that's
that.
an whole joke. So,
Well,
all right.
the Jews that I know have always been very and willing to break down things psychologically.
So
which
when you
love,
brought, I have to understand.
Okay.
Did you bring any of your Jewish boys home to the farm?
Yes, Mark Cohen visited the family, and also Rich. They don't like Rich.
What did they like? Did they like Mark?
Not particularly, but
was it a Jew thing or a New York thing?
No, I think they think that they're making fun of them. That it's you're always making jokes, and then they think it's at their expense, and they get upset about it.
Interesting.
Ew, who would make fun of your parents?
Well, Rich.
So Rich comes over with his
at our
tattoos.
wedding.
Wait, I have to know the first time your parents met Rich. You're at the farm. How big is the farm? How many acres?
When Rich met, I don't know. Probably only 25 acres at that point.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then so he comes with his, tattoos. He's like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, like that. Okay. And what happened? What ensued?
Well, everything was fine. Okay, no, I'll tell you exactly what happened. And one of the reasons why my oldest sister and I still don't speak. Okay.
You don't speak with Audrey. Shit.
So Audrey,
do you speak with Andrea and Lynn, but not Audrey?
Yes, we still have a very good relationship.
Okay.
But Audrey is an interesting person. So she started this nonprofit, and
for the fetal alcohol.
People who are in nonprofits, they still make she pays herself pretty fucking well.
Right, of course.
Do you know what I mean? So she does. So she has these benefits, and so she wanted Rich and I to come and do a benefit to raise money. So we agreed to come do that. She was just going to pay our costs. And Rich said, "Here's the deal. You can't do the auction before we go on, and dinner has to be finished before we go on. We need an MC and no breaks in between acts." So she was like, yeah, that's fine. So when we get there, she wants to do the auction before we go on. It just becomes this thing. And she's never experienced someone like Rich before. Like, she's used to being the boss and telling everyone she's like sort of the head of our family.
Has she ever done a comedy benefit before?
No, but that doesn't stop her. She doesn't care. She's...
Right.
So Rich is saying, we're not going to do it that way. And she goes, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Like, as though we're nervous. We're just nervous.
You're the court jesters. I know how to run it. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So Rich gets this guy who'd come over and said, I'm a big fan and I love comedy, to be the MC. And he just took over the thing. So I went on, and then I just introduced Rich right after, so she couldn't take the break in the middle and stuff. And when he went on, he trashed her for like 15 minutes, and it was so funny. It was like everyone there knows her, so they were
laughing, right?
They know she's like that, and she did not
think it was funny.
No,
so she takes herself very seriously.
Yeah. She wrote a thesis. She went back to school. My sister went and got her master's, so of course Audrey had to go get her master's too. And Audrey wrote a thesis about herself, and she sent it to me to read. And she,
this is before the incident.
Yeah, this is before the incident. She referred to herself as McFarlane, like Obama.
No way!
Yes.
Oh my God, she's annoying. She's a narcissist.
Yes, she referred to herself as a...
What is her husband like? Does he talk?
No, he's very, she makes lists for him.
Right, and what about the kids?
And the kids they'll never hear this podcast.
No.
They're annoying.
Right, of course.
They're awful.
It's hard at being a child of a narcissist. Wow. Where are you going, Lauren?
I'm just getting some water.
But
that's incredible. So, and how many years has it been since you spoke?
She texted me about a month ago for the first time in a long time.
What'd she say?
So she just said, "Do you know this I'm at this function, and there's this comedian there. Do you know him?" And I said, "I don't know who he is." And then that was it.
And she didn't say, "Talk to you soon."
No.
So why do your parents hate? Well, like, what was that? Like, because they didn't start hating him until they met him, right?
Well, this happened. So I went home one Christmas without Rich. And this is maybe the next Christmas after the show that we had done. And I don't know why. We were just talking about stuff, and my dad was saying he didn't like all this cursing and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, Dad, when did you become a Pollyanna?"
Right. Wait, were your parents at the show too?
Yes.
When he was dissing?
Yes.
Okay, was Audrey there? I mean, Andrea?
Yes. Andrea loved it. And Lynn thought it was funny.
All right, great.
Of course.
Yeah.
So my father said, I just don't like that kind of humor. Like your husband. I don't like it. I don't think it's funny. I go, don't say that about him. I go, don't say that about him. He's my husband.
Right.
And my dad goes, what? I don't think he's funny. And then I got really mad and went downstairs, and he never apologized. He said, that's not how I meant it, but how else are you going to mean it?
I don't think you're funny, or your husband's funny, is...
Well, because I said to him, I go, why would you say that? You just don't say it. You can think it, but you don't say it to someone.
Right.
I go, what if I said something to Mom, like, well, I just don't think, Dad's a good farmer. Why would
I don't think Dad chops those heads off very well.
I mean, like, I tried to think of an analogy.
Right.
But I didn't tell Rich at the time. I said, because I wanted to talk about it with somebody, but I didn't want to hurt Rich's feelings, so I said, my dad said, we aren't funny. But then I forgot, because I was retelling the story to someone else when Rich was there.
And you said he?
And I said, Rich was
then
like,
did he freak out?
I was like, wait.
What are you talking about? Are you kidding me? Are you serious?
What did he say, me?
He said me?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
So now, it's like, it's awkward.
Now,
that's not fair.
You are classy. I find you to be classy.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. And we did, a lot of people don't know this. Bonnie and I, my mother was in a nursing home, and one day I'm at the Hanukkah party, and with my, siblings and Elisa and my mother. And all of a sudden, I see Rich, Bonnie, and Raina, the daughter. And I'm like, across the room, I'm like, what are you doing here? It turns out Rich's mother was in the same nursing home. And he's like, bring my mother over, meet your mother. And I have to tell you, I've never met anyone more negative. Like, she made my mother look like Polly, and like if you see the fat, then you're gonna, like if you say the fat, you're gonna. She, even my mother was like, I mean.
We always said she's exactly like the mother on The Sopranos.
Right. That's what I said my mother was like too. Yeah.
When we went to visit her,
to the level
Rich would always just started in on each other the minute they saw each other. And I said to Rich one time when we were going, this might have been before I was married to him. I was like, look, why instead of pushing her buttons when you go there, why don't you just say how are you doing? Like, just start a nice thing.
Hi. Yeah.
Yes. So he goes, oh, fine. He goes in and he goes, hey, how are you doing? She goes, how the fuck do you think I'm doing?
That's hilarious.
That's not our game.
You pussy. Now, how did you meet Rich?
So I met Rich at the Comedy Cellar. He was on Last Comic Standing. I thought he was a total jackass.
So you did it with him?
No, I just watched the show.
All right, but then
season.
you did it.
Then he convinced me to do the second
season. You were the first person eliminated? That's great.
I made it to the house.
Oh, the house. Oh, you were the first
10.
person.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
What is that house?
I don't know. They kept asking me in the interviews, like, oh, what if you have to live in a house with 10 comedians? I was like, I like comedians. I think it's going to be fun. But then I didn't realize it was going to be like those comedians.
Right. Okay, so you meet Rich at the Comedy Cellar.
Yes.
Who talks to who first?
I said, I just want to meet you because I know you're on the show. And he goes, oh, you're that comedian girl. And he goes, I'd hit on you right now, but I'm on a date. And then...
Oh, God. Yeah. And then you end up marrying him? I hit on you, but I'm on a date.
I know,
So that's his opening line?
Yes.
Oh, my God. And did you get all, wet and excited?
No, it was like... he was exactly the same person that I was watching on TV that I didn't like. I was like, oh...
Right.
But that's Rich's MO with everyone. No one likes him in the beginning, and then somehow...
I always liked
that attitude works on you.
Right. Well, I'm from New Jersey, so I get him. Okay,
well,
go.
Then he sort of tracked me down a couple nights later, and we hung out. And
what do you mean, tracked you down?
He tried to get Esty to give my phone number, and Esty called me, and I was like, do not give him my phone number.
Esty is, just for everyone, Esty... she books the Comedy Cellar and is like the Godfather. She sits in the corner, and everyone sits at the comedy table. And
Rich Voss asked for your phone number.
She's not Asian.
I don't know. I can't.
She's Israeli. It's Esty. Listen, Rich Voss asked for your phone number. I do not.
That is not it. That's
shit! It's better than hello. Is this?
I think it's more like Rich Boss wants your number.
No, that is not Esty. Bonnie's was like, hello, your Rich Boss want your number. That is not. I was better. Hello, hello. Is this
Rich
Bonnie?
Boss want your
Listen,
number.
Rich Boss wants your number.
212 9.
All right, whatever. So, you said no. Okay, then.
No.
Then
he came to the cellar when I was only there for a week. I was living in Los Angeles, and
Right.
he came a couple nights later. And,
why'd you go to Los Angeles? Did Jeff Sussman make you...
about a year after I was in New York after the Caroline's show. I got a deal, and I moved to LA.
What was the deal?
I got $175,000 from CBS.
A holding deal.
A holding deal, yeah.
That's what they all used to get.
Yeah, I mean,
everyone. I am the only fucking person who never got a holding deal. And the holding deal means you can only do a show for that network. They can create a show
it's
for
like
you.
15 months they held.
Yeah, so you can't go on auditions for other networks or anything.
Always in second position.
Right, in second position.
Weird, I don't even
the
know.
other thing was, I never got one. I mean, people, and I had been doing stand-up forever by that time.
Well, by the time you're ready to get one, they won't. They don't
do it anymore.
No,
but they don't do it anymore. Okay, so all right, the holding deal turns to nothing.
Turns to nothing.
You come then.
So I just would come back to New York. Jim Gaffigan and I would flip apartments sometimes.
Right.
I'd come stay at his place in New York, and he'd stay at my place in LA. He'd go there for pilot season. I'd come and do stand up, whatever. And so, anyway, I met Rich, and
okay. So when did your feelings change? I need to know the minute your feelings.
Well, we
changed.
had a sexual relationship for a while without ever.
Wait, what?
Having.
When did you start the sexual relationship?
Well, he went down on me in the car that night.
Which night?
The first night that we hung out.
Wait,
after we had pizza.
I'm not going. Nice. You didn't go. You didn't tell me. First, it was like I'm on a date, but I would fuck you. Then he calls Esty, and then she says no,
right?
And you say no, and then what's the next turning point?
So the next turning point is I was at the cellar, and he somehow convinced me to leave with him to go get pizza.
Okay,
and then he was going to give me a ride to wherever I was staying, and outside my place he
went down on me in the car.
Fine, it's good.
Does Raina know this, your daughter?
Oh, we tell her every night.
And how about your parents? Do you want me to call Audrey and tell her?
Let Audrey know.
So he went down on you in the car.
And then he had to drive to the airport.
And you didn't have to do anything to him?
No.
Ah, that's good!
No, so he was just letting me know that...
Wait, the first night? No, that's great.
So then...
was he good?
Yeah, he's got a lot of juice in his mouth, and sometimes that works.
Right.
The saliva. Nice
juice mouth.
The saliva.
Now I don't like it, but at the time it was good.
Okay, so then, and you were just in love.
No, that I had a boyfriend, not a boyfriend, but I
had?
I had another sexual thing going on.
Did you tell the other one that
I was discreet?
So you were like cheating on...
Well, because we never made it clear that we were exclusive or anything.
Do you think either of them were seeing other women?
I don't know, and I didn't ask. I didn't bring it up. I didn't want to have to...
So you're done with Mark Cohen. Are you done with Mark Cohen?
Yeah, this is Mark Cohen's way in the past.
Okay.
And
okay, and then what was it that you were like...
Well, this is what happened.
I have to marry this man.
So... Well, two things. Once we went on a date. I was in New York, and he took me out for sushi. And during sushi,
he likes fish.
Yes. During sushi, clearly we've established that.
Yeah.
During sushi, he said to me, "I'm a genius, and I can't believe people don't get to see me. The industry will never see my genius because when I'm on the road and."
Okay.
The way he was talking about it, I never heard anyone in all earnestness call themselves a genius before.
So I'm going to do Rich. We're going to redo the scene, and you're going to be you at that night. Okay, ready?
Action.
The thing is, Bonnie.
Yeah.
I'm a genius.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a genius. I am one of a kind, but I go on the road.
Yeah.
And the industry looks at me like I'm a road comic.
Yeah, they don't see your genius.
They don't see the originality.
Can you do it in
and
the clubs in New York? The genius stuff.
Yeah, that's what I do. I mean, I do it, and I do the job on the road. I've got to make a living, But
you gotta have more passion. Honestly, you gotta be more like.
Seriously, I gotta tell you,
I fucking kill every
I fought
night.
every night. I am consistent every single night I get on the stage. I never fail. No one wants to follow me.
Yes.
Have you met a comic that doesn't want to follow me?
This is
Have
the
you?
conversation.
It's unbelievable, and I don't understand the industry that they put these assholes on that have no talent.
This is Judy now.
No, it isn't.
No, but this is
I'm not like that.
I know.
Okay, so you fucked up the scene. Okay, so then that goes on, and
So
you're like,
maybe it was because I'm Canadian. I was like, I couldn't believe someone was talking about themselves like that.
Right.
And there was something so great about
Right,
it.
right.
And I still
so
kind
then,
of like a bragger.
because he was saying that, you were like, maybe he is a genius. Did you think?
No, it wasn't.
Right.
Well, I kept thinking, like, is he being serious? Like, if he's fucking with me, it's hilarious. But if he's being serious, it's
He
even
is an
more
amazing joke writer. I mean, the guy's an amazing joke writer.
Yes, he's just so bitter.
Right. If he could get rid of that bitterness, I'm telling you.
Right. Yeah, it's just like
he's so angry at everyone.
But what? But why? He's very successful. Listen, wherever we go, people. We were getting out of the car yesterday to go to Sirius, and some woman, she was like a very pretty black woman, shouldn't be his target audience at all, and was like, "I love you. You're a great comedian," and I was like, "Ugh."
Right.
He gets stopped all the time,
but that's not enough.
Yeah, no,
he's always comparing himself.
He put two girls through college.
Right.
He owns a house. It's
right.
Like he, by all standards, he's successful, and it's just not enough because he looks around and he sees, Jim Gaffigan's picture going by in a cab and Amy Schumer's poster up, and it eats at him somehow. I guess.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I look at it and I'm like, oh, I can't even like. To me, all those people that I grew up with in comedy, like Ray Romano and Kevin James and, Jim used to open for me, Jim Gaffigan. I just still think of them as that person and like, timing and talent and luck and, great.
Yeah.
But you can't walk around all bitter.
You can't walk around like this is the way I think. Like sometimes I think of it as like I don't get jealous of a doctor because I never went to med school.
Right.
And there's people that have done things that I've never. I couldn't be Miss Social Media. I'm not that person. So if they're getting successful because of that, I can't be jealous of that because I didn't do it.
Right.
I have a phone. I could.
I know. It's just that's so fucking annoying. I can't even deal with that. So all right. So you marry. Where was the wedding? And did your family come?
So my wedding was in Edmonton, Alberta. It was actually a little outside Edmonton called Leduc, Alberta. And my aunt has this hotel, so she was like, "You can get married in my hotel. I'm going to give you this great rate." Da da da. And it wasn't a great rate, and it was a hunting lodge.
Oh, fun!
So during our wedding party, people were dragging deer and moose.
Oh, that's
through
great.
the hotel. And I wish that because I was slightly angry about it. I was like, "Ugh, this is awful." But now I think back, I'm like, why didn't I take pictures of my
right? That's a great.
Like
you got to talk about that. Wait, so did Rich's family come?
Yes. Well, his mother didn't. We didn't even tell his mother because we didn't want her to get upset that she was just
right.
It would be hard for her to go. So, but his father and his father's wife came, and his
did the families get along?
His richest brother did not come.
Did they mingle?
Yeah, I mean,
Jews and dead animals going. That
it was a little
not good.
Awkward,
right?
It was like farmers. And
did they wear yarmulkes?
Like
or
we
anything?
put like a little thing of preserves on each table that my mom had made.
That's
as instead of like the piece of cake, like the little giveaway. And Rich's sister was like, "Are you sure that nobody's going to get sick from this?"
Oh my god! Oh my god! All right,
so my mom was like a little upset.
Did you have a chuppah or anything Jewish at the wedding?
No, I wanted to, but the woman who married us wouldn't. She said, "If you don't know exactly why you want it, then you shouldn't have it."
She hates Jews.
And I was like, well, I just, Rich didn't know anything.
It symbolizes a home. Why the fuck didn't you call me?
I should have called you.
She's an asshole.
Yeah.
So how long have you been married?
So almost 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
And?
Getting there. It's, it's a difficult process.
Do you have a lot of sex?
We have to have sex at least once a week, or Rich... It's not that he wants it. He just thinks we're going to get a divorce if we're not.
So, and
he read it somewhere or something.
That's
but sometimes it's more.
But is it fun, or is it just like, God, I have to? Oh, is it?
A lot of times I'm
obligatory?
Like, I do obligatory sex. But then there are times where it's actually.
Right.
The last time we had sex was actually really, I don't know why. It was fun.
Now, Rich has a photo of his penis on his phone that he shows pretty much everyone. But what he'll do is he'll be like, let me show you this picture.
Yeah, because he got professional lighting.
Right. And the penis will go by. Like, oh, sorry. That's what he does.
He got a long zoom lens.
Yeah. And what is that with him and his cock?
He's very...
Has he showed Raina the picture of his wiener?
No, he's not. But he does show people, just even in the audience, he'll just show a random person. That's my cock. Yeah, he's very...
And does that bother you?
He's very proud of that picture. If he's insecure, Rich is like, you gotta think like...
I know. But if you took a picture of your boobs... And wouldn't he get so pissed off?
Yeah. Oh my God! Are you kidding? The movie that you were in.
Yes,
that we did.
Wait. Now you filmed me for a while, and I'm in for what? A half a millisecond.
I feel like you're a big part of.
Really?
Yeah, I remember.
You're a presence in that movie
for
I
sure.
Love you, Bonnie.
It was real pivotal. I mean, the timing of everyone in that film.
It was. I will say this, that I felt like you gave the button on a lot of things.
Right.
Definitely wrapped up.
Yeah.
Funny.
I'm gonna watch that again.
I love you, and I've always loved you.
Oh, Bonnie,
you know
that's so sweet.
Really, it's true.
I always think that. I don't know. I
remember
found
meeting you
out
for the
now,
very first time.
Yeah. Well, I found out now that the girls, the guy comics that are in their 30s and 40s, because I'm in my late 30s. Anyway, or 20s, 30s.
I'm
they
17,
all know me
if you guys want to
from
know.
Comedy Central and stuff, and they all like me. Like,
Yes.
I never knew that. So wait, when did we meet first?
Well, I just come from Canada, and
Please say I
at the
was
Boston
nice.
Comedy Cellar,
Right.
or Boston Comedy
Club,
whatever club it's called, and I was so blown away by you. I'd never seen a woman do that before. I'd never seen a woman kill like that, or have that kind of presence on stage, or it was like mind-blowing.
Really? Oh my
really
God,
was.
I love you.
It was amazing. And then I was like, I thought you were really funny. And you're like, mm-hmm.
No, I wasn't.
No, that's how she was.
That's
how she was to me the first
But I
time
have to tell you, I'm so in the zone, and it's
so
like,
glad you're here.
and I don't believe,
I think you didn't think you did well.
Right.
That's what I think, and I couldn't believe that, because in my mind it was like... But then I've seen you, that's the way you have sets. You kill. You just, that's...
Sometimes I don't. I mean, I went on...
I've never seen you not kill. And in fact, you did one of the hardest things I ever saw was at the, what's-her-face's 80th birthday, the feminist, what's her name?
Oh, Gloria Steinem.
Gloria Steinem's birthday. You had to do the auction, and you were so funny. And I was thinking, I would have never been able to do that. I mean,
because you know what? I've been doing it for so long. I worked in, when I started in the 80s, I went anywhere. And I didn't care. I was in, some mob bosses, bar in the back. I would go anywhere just to do... I only wanted... And I wanted to be great at it. And so I think...
Well, I think that is a difference between... I see people coming up now that's not their goal. Do you know what I mean? They're
they use it as to
get more Twitter followers,
right? Or to
be on TV,
but as a vehicle to get something else. I wanted to be a great. Still want to be.
But you're a student of stand-up, also. Yes. You probably watched a lot of stand-up,
right? It's like the actors that go back to theater.
But I did stand up more than I watched stand. I mean, I watched all these people in the clubs, but. I mean, if I go back to my calendars from those days, it was every night. I used to write at the end of the month how many sets I did for that month.
Can you remember an average?
I have to go look in. It's in my storage unit. Oh my God, it was. What are there? 365 days in the year. I mean,
But how many on a weekend would you do? Were you doing like a
5, 6? Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a time when you could just stay.
Well, that's how you stayed in the city.
Yeah.
You had to do Friday only had 2 shows and Saturday had 3, so you would do 4 on Friday and 6 or 7 on Saturday, and you'd go from one place to the other, and just hopefully get there.
Well, because also the thing about doing that many sets is that none of them are precious. So you don't have to get in LA. You do one set a night, and you want it to go well, and it's
I went to LA, and I got to work all the clubs, so I would do more than one set. And then Mitzi gave me the belly room every Friday night.
Wow!
And that's how I prepared for my HBO special. And but even when I was, we've talked about this before.
Okay, were you nervous doing that HBO special?
You know what it was?
People didn't have them yet, right? I mean,
no. It was the half-hour comedy hour.
Right.
Garofalo, David Cross. I remember thinking, and this is how nerdy I am. Everyone else who was doing them was I'm doing a special on HBO. They were cool.
What year was that?
90,
I'm trying to remember if I was in LA
94
when that happened.
95.
I kind of remember. Oh, so that was right. Yeah, when I got to New York.
It's about 95, I think.
So I remember people talking about that.
So and we did it in San Francisco, and I remember. And Mark Maron, I think, was one of them. But I remember they were all really cool dudes about it because they were in the alternative,
Right.
And I remember Janine even had notes. She didn't care. She get the swag. She's like, "Oh yeah, you can have this." I was like, "Really?" I was such a nerd. I'm getting swag. I still have the watch.
Yeah.
And I was so grateful. Because all I ever wanted was an HBO special, and in my mind it was like, "Oh my God,
amazing.
HBO." Trust me to be on their network for half an hour. To me, it was I got to make this the greatest thing.
Yeah.
That they're trusting me. That's how I feel about my work. I always prepare, And I remember, and I won the Cable Ace Award that year. I beat George Carlin.
It was great special.
Thank you.
It was so brilliant.
And I was still really? Is it? It was that I still was no, it's not that great. Okay, but and it was. It's not until now when I go on stage and I realize, that I truly am when my mother died, I went on stage 2.5 weeks later and talked about the funeral. I had to do it. And the comics came downstairs from the cellar.
Things.
Right. And they were like, I got to see this. And it's amazing because someone asked me recently, how do you see yourself as a comic? And I said, well, comics grow as they have more. I have more life experience and less fear. I mean, at that time in my career, don't do this, don't do that. HBO, you got to be on a network.
Right.
And I remember I was on. We've talked about this Margaret Cho's show, All American Girl, and I would go out every night and do a set. And everyone called me the Leopard because I used to do spots all the time.
Oh, that's funny.
And they were like, "Why are you doing spots? You're on a sitcom." It's I couldn't wait.
Right.
It's in my blood, soul. I love it, and I love your stand-up because it's so smart. It's smart, and it's fucking funny, and it's edgy. Now, when I was in Montreal last year with you guys, you had Bill Burr.
Oh, yes.
On the podcast,
yes.
Right, and there was a palpable tension between the two of you, and he said you had said something to him regarding I don't.
Well,
and he said, "Hey, you gonna use the clam card?"
Yes.
And I wanted. You don't know how much I wanted. How fucking dare you're married to a woman?
Yeah.
You're married to a fucking woman. Does he have kids? Not yet. I don't
think so.
When men who are married to women who have mothers who came out of a fucking woman,
right,
and have daughters, I don't fucking get it.
I don't get okay. I saw him one time. He's being interviewed for something, and they said, something about this whole thing about women being funny, or
I'm so
do you think
sick
it's
of it? Yeah,
I know. Do you think it's harder for women or whatever? And he goes, just get up there and be funny. That's all you need to do. You need to, not think about anything else. Just go up there and be funny. And it's that's like a white guy's stance on everything.
Right.
It's like they don't understand baggage comes with other people.
Right.
Like you do just get to go up and be funny. But they're like, I feel like stand-up is such a nuanced, hard thing that even if you're just held back slightly, it can make an entire difference to
One
your
thing
set.
that someone says to you.
Yeah.
One thing that someone says before you get on stage.
Right.
The
can
judgment
affect
that
it.
the audience already has on you as
Well,
a
I
woman.
think the audience, especially, like, wants you to succeed. They want to go there to laugh,
I
except
know,
for
but
the fuckheads who don't. You know.
Right. Well, it's not that
I
they don't want
understand.
you to succeed. I feel like though that they're like they've already given. Even though if they know who Bill Burr is, but even, like a white guy, they've given him the check mark already.
Right.
They're like, okay, great. Da ha 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 ha. They just assume what he's getting to is funny, and I still think, even though people are really supportive of women, there's still just a tiny little bit of hang back. Like, is it going to be funny?
Oh, definitely.
You know, I'm writing an article now about
Why it's being talked
Jerry
about.
Seinfeld saying that the millennials are too PC and he won't do colleges.
Right.
Okay. And, you know, I'm really doing a lot of work and research on this, and I actually love millennials because I feel like they can detect bullshit immediately because they have so much information,
right?
And they don't want to talk about mundane, on the surface things. And I feel like, look, in the mid-late 90s, I started talking about being a lesbian mother. Before it was fashionable, but I wasn't even talking about being a lesbian. I was talking about being a lesbian mother,
right?
You know, and I got a lot of, oh, that's not PC. But now the like he's
but now
saying,
it's like, yes,
he's saying that my stuff isn't. I never thought of him as a politically incorrect person, but he's saying a lot of his.
You're talking about Bill.
No, I'm talking about Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry, yeah.
I think of he's a master joke writer and he's a master of his craft, but I don't think of him as politically incorrect.
Right.
And he's saying these people are PC, and I'm thinking, look, I was talking about this alternative, quote unquote, lifestyle, family, when no one talked about their, and I couldn't not do it. I had kids, and that was my material.
Right.
And I dealt with the, you know, I'm going to get up and leave, and you're,
yes,
you know,
yes.
I dealt with that.
Yes.
I didn't. No one's gotten up and said, you know, Jerry, that really pissed me off, you know. And so now I feel like the millennials.
They've turned the tables on the white guys, and now they're pissed off because they don't feel like they should ever have to be have any kind of
like they are on top all the time. Like I feel like it goes in ebbs and flows this career, and that they feel like they should always be at the top.
Yes.
You know,
Agreed.
It's like the fucking Republicans.
Right.
You know, Donald Trump.
Like, the minute they feel any kind of prejudice towards them, it's suddenly like this huge thing.
It's
and
like,
it's like, but against other people. But I used to hate in the clubs. I mean, the one thing I feel like with the politically correct thing is I used to hate when comedians could go in and just be like, you're gay, and everyone would laugh. And it was like, it's so ugly. Do you know what I mean? Like, just like, the gay jokes were still just so, like,
but
rampant.
they're so stupid. And I remember...
It's like, good. I'm glad they can't do it anymore.
I remember I was at the comic strip, and there was a woman who was very masculine looking, and I said something to her, like, what, are you gay or what? You know, and she said... Well, yeah, well, I'm a tranny. And I said, oh, well, which way are you going? And she, because I didn't know.
Right.
And she was like, that was the greatest thing ever, you know. Because I was like, oh, which way?
Let's not.
Are you going?
Around reality.
Are you a woman? You know, becoming a woman or becoming? And she, that was it. She loved me forever.
Yeah.
But I can't take that stupid bullshit crap. Now, I have okay, we've gone long, but wait, I have a lot of other things I have to discuss. Don't get mad at me. We'll end in a few minutes. But Rich Voss, your husband, and it's the last thing I'm going to say about him, is very cheap. He is frugal.
He's not. He is in a certain way. Like, I've never had my own soda when we've been out to get food, but
go on, Bonnie.
We must share soda. Yes, but on the other hand, like if we're out for dinner or something, he will readily pick up the check with like a group of people.
Right.
He's not cheap in that way. Do you know what I mean? Or
he picks and chooses.
He does.
I know, but Easy Pass?
Why can't he give me Easy Pass?
Why can't you fucking... Easy Pass? Like, does he value your time? Like, I have an Easy Pass. Why can't you get your own fucking Easy Pass?
I could get my own. I filled out the whole thing once, and then I didn't. I know my license plate number, so I didn't feel like going out to the car to look at it, and that's really why I don't.
Okay,
we're both just lazy.
Okay, and you'll sit in the fucking lane.
Well, every time we go through, we go, let's get the Easy Pass.
The fact that you don't have an Easy Pass, that is a kill me now thing. Like, aren't you sitting in the car saying kill me now while all these cars are going through fast?
You know what the truth is that Easy Pass isn't, they're not going through that much faster.
Yes, they are.
I swear to God,
I swear to God. Go to the GW Bridge or the Lincoln Tunnel.
We don't use those.
How the fuck are you from New Jersey? Okay, go to the Holland Tunnel. Oh, yeah, the Holland Tunnel, it's always backed up. But, come on, that's fucking... Even when you go to, like, Boston or something...
Well, I wish, yes, because it would just be, like, less anxiety when I'm driving somewhere and I don't know where the...
You can write it off!
Oh, well, now we'll get one. Now that
Did you know that? You write it off, and your tolls are, like,
but now Rich
cheaper.
will get one.
Oh, right.
Tell him you can write it off.
It's funny that his name is Rich.
I know.
Richard. All right, I had this. I wrote all these questions down. What? Now you are not sober, but you live with someone.
I'm a little bit drunk right now.
Nice.
No, I'm not. I'm not sober.
And what is it like to be with someone who's so very? Why can't I speak today?
Well, he's been sober for I think
you're excited.
I remember
almost 30 years.
I remember when he wasn't. I started, but I remember.
Yeah, 2 years he did stand up or something.
Yeah, and he was like, yeah.
Oh God, I can't.
Okay, so then.
So there's no alcohol at our house ever or anything like that. So there's no. So I do. Sometimes I like.
Do you sneak it?
No, but I will go to the neighbors and have a glass of wine or something.
Right.
But when we go home to Canada,
you have to,
there's alcohol all the time. Everybody's drinking constantly, and he can't take. I mean,
but after all those years, he can't take.
It's not that he just thinks they're all alcoholics. I'm
right.
Like, but that's the way people are. Like a lot of people just drink a lot. That's just how it is. You go to
but they're not addicted.
No.
Now,
and this is he's going at Christmas time, so it's like.
Do you have to brush your teeth if you've had a drink and then you're going to make out with him?
We have not made out since our second year of marriage, so no.
Are you kidding?
We don't make out.
What?
No,
that's the best part. I make out with Elisa all the time.
I try to get him to make out with me sometimes, and then he starts giggling. He can't handle the intimacy.
Oh, this is hurting me.
See, making out is really intimate.
Yeah.
Does he do the rip your... He doesn't make out with you and then rip your clothes off?
No, I mean, I would enjoy that. It's not...
oh, my
like
God.
that.
That's the best! Oh, God, Bonnie.
Sometimes he's like, we get to the bed, he goes, you don't have your underwear off yet?
What? I'm going to talk to him. How to treat a woman. That sucks.
Thank you. Sometimes I go, you have no game. Like, how did you get this
And he's not a big toucher. He's not touchy-feely.
No, he doesn't... I don't think he has all the muscles that everyone else has in their hands.
Well, he works out all the time. He's got like those big fucking, and he apparently has a penis muscle that he shows everyone. Okay, so, what pisses you, well, first of all, we'll do the piss you off first. What pisses you off the most? Like, what is one thing that fucking drives you up a wall?
So many things, really, but this today drove me up the fucking wall. So I came back from the gym and I was watching TV, and I can't. Who's that black woman that has that show in the around 10 o'clock comes on?
Tamron Hall?
No, she's funny kind of, and she just sits there and she does.
Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams.
I love Wendy Williams.
Okay.
Did I not just?
But I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
It's okay.
I didn't hear it.
So she put up a picture and she's like, "Who's offended by this?" She goes, "Because I'm offended by this," and it was Madonna. Took a picture of her kids rubbing her feet. Well, her kids happen to be black,
right?
So people were like, "This is outrageous," and I kept being so angry about it because they're her kids,
right?
Like that's what kids do, you know. I'm sure you had your kids rub your feet. I've had my kid rub my feet.
Right.
It's like,
I would take a picture of my kids doing any chore and post that shit online.
I've never had a picture of that because my kids don't do a fucking thing, as you can attest to by looking at Henry's room. Ben actually does some shit. Okay, so I can see that.
But I just feel like it's like this weird thing where they just like things get out of control and they just the media grabs on to the wrong things.
But like Wanda has a whole bit about, Wanda Sykes, who I love. I love Wanda. Now she has a whole bit about, because her wife is French and white, and her kids are really white and blonde. And, she talks about, like, when she's making them dinner, and then she's serving it, and she's like, wait, and it's fucking hilarious. Wanda, I didn't tell the joke, but I want you to... I get it. I'm sure and it comes from, wait, what's going on here? That so is... Funny. We don't... people are so knee-jerk...
Yes.
Ready to... But, Madonna has done some weird things recently, like making out with... who'd she make out with? Drake or...
Oh, yeah, he didn't want to be made out with.
Who wants...
Oh, Madonna.
He was like...
You don't have to try Madonna. Yeah. You're Madonna. You don't have to.
Well, that's another one of my pet peeves is that women of a certain age should stop trying to pretend they still have...
Oh, she could own her age right now.
That's what pisses me off.
Just be a person.
Right. That's what pisses me off about Caitlyn Jenner a lot.
Yes.
Is that, okay, so you're the hottest, sexiest guy. And then when you become a woman, all of a sudden you're fucking on the cover of, Vanity Fair and you're hot, sexy. Like, you grew up,
She is a Kardashian.
Yes, see, I think that's
she did, but she had to grow before she was a Kardashian, she was an entitled white male.
Yes.
And that's how that has sort of, that's her when she was growing up. Okay.
I think she overcompensated a lot for...
okay, that's great.
Why does she have
gold medals for that?
Like, why does
why can't she just... But, like...
Why can't she just be the woman that she wants to be without it being, like, in a...
Because she's in the public eye, she's in the media.
But she didn't have to... she got $500 million to get that fucking surgery.
She does look so beautiful, though, and unfortunately,
because
we're such a visual country that, but how
many transgender people don't have the money? Take that $500 million and give it to transgender kids. Yes. Or something to help the community.
I'm with
These people are on the fucking street. They're homeless. It pisses me off. How much more fucking money do you need?
It pisses me off too. Okay. But unfortunately, people need a sexy visual representation in the mainstream media of what a woman could be, a trans woman is.
Well, they have
in order to make it, to make that connection in their head.
They have me.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
I mean, I can play transgender.
But my daughter said this to me when she was little, like 3 years old. She goes, "How come there's so many old men on TV and no old women?"
Right.
And it's
I love her.
I didn't even realize, but the truth is that. When women get to a certain age, they have to, do hair extensions and lips and eyes and stuff.
Maggie Gyllenhaal's too old to play a 50-year-old girl. What the fuck? When are people going to say, you know what? I'm not doing your fucking movie.
Yeah. I think it's starting to happen.
No, it's not. They all want the money. Oh, I'll take the part.
They'll twist it into something feminist somehow.
Right.
They're they eat like a bird and they're tiny and they're playing the whole game and then they'll be like, but I'm all for women's rights.
Right.
No,
Can I say that's what pissed me off about Bridesmaids also. It's like the girl still winds up with the guy at the end and you're trying to be this feminist farty joke, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That movie
pisses me off.
The fact that a fucking Republican candidate for president is telling me I need a vaginal ultrasound. Fuck you! Get out of my fucking body.
Yes.
Rick fucking Santorum. Get the fuck away.
Well, it makes.
Now that pisses me off.
The worst.
But then he has fun. People.
But I know, and women. Women fucking.
Women. I don't know how are women.
I don't
brainwashed.
Get it.
They are still brainwashed.
No one wants to have an abortion. No one wants it.
Well, look, here's the thing.
Of course
no one wants to have an abortion. But if they're...
I did, and I did it.
You didn't see...
No, I went out and I got pregnant.
You didn't say, I'm going to get pregnant so I can have an abortion. No one does that.
Right, no. But here's the thing. Even if you think that it's wrong or it's against God or whatever, I still think it's the right move in a lot of cases. Like I still think
but
you
it's
have
none of
to
your
pick the
business.
lesser of two evils. It's
If
like you don't
feel-
want unwanted
right.
kids out there.
If it's wrong, because you think that God, because of God reasons, then don't have it.
Then you shouldn't have one. Absolutely,
Don't have
100%.
it.
Yeah, But that's the thing that's so crazy about this country is that everyone, it's just this, like the whole gay marriage thing was such a drain because it's like, what do you care?
Don't make your decisions based on the Bible. You're elected into office.
Why does Christianity have such a big part in everything?
Right. We're supposed to be separation of church and
Because
state.
we've stopped asking questions, and I think even if you,
I'm asking a fucking question.
I think
But
it's a good
if you're a
question.
church, if you go to a church that doesn't believe in gay marriage, then that's great. Then you don't have to. But
Just
but
don't
why
stop.
why
Where
does
do
it
gay
be a
people
legal
go?
thing?
Where do gay people go when marriage equality passes in their state?
Us.
They go to town hall and get
That's
their
how
fucking.
I
That's what
got-
they do. There should be civil marriage.
Yes.
And if you want to have a religious marriage, have it.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
It.
I 100%.
That's it.
Fixed.
It's about.
But I
it's
don't
about
understand why-
protections and these. Why?
Well, this is what I was going to say about before when I was angry about my neighbor said that they went to they took their two girls, they're 10 years old, to the Taylor Swift concert. She goes, and there was these gay guys in front of us, and our kids are asking, what are they acting like that for? I don't know what to tell them. I was like, you tell them they're gay. Like, who cares?
Tell them they're having a good time.
Yes.
They have no
Like-
inhibitions.
Right.
I had the same conversation with someone on the street. He was bitching about gay marriage pass. He's like, "What am I supposed to? What are people supposed? What's he supposed to tell their kids? When they see him kissing on the street?" And I was like, "What do you care?" And he goes, "Well, it's disgusting." And I was like, "Well, no one's making you kiss."
No,
like
it's
that."
disgusting watching your fucking ignorant fat ass.
And he's like, "Oh,
kiss
wow,
someone.
yes,
Why do guys get to walk down the street without a shirt? Some of them have bigger tits than I do.
Thank you.
And they're hairy and they're fat stomach, and then a woman's
I'm so
body.
bitter
Well,
about
that's
that.
because
Women
that's
can't
exactly why
breastfeed.
they get to, because that's not something that's it all comes down to sexuality. And the reason that men are angry about transgender is because a lot of
It's
guys get
taking away
turned
their
on
masculinity.
by anything. Literally, like if I were to like draw like a W and put two dots in it, they'd be like, oh my god, like boobs. It turns them on. So they can't have things that turn them on. It's
But
just
also-
it's like a hair trigger.
They feel like they also have to be the only ones too. So when it's trans on the other way around, it's like you don't get to be masculine. You don't get to have this. This is my thing. Like you're a girl.
It's so
Right.
fucked up.
Which
It is
which
so.
why,
No, you're
This
supposed to be
is
turning them on. That's your
Chaz-
job.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
As a
Which
woman.
is why Chaz got so fucking swept under the rug, and Caitlyn, is on the cover.
Yeah,
of Vanity
Chaz is a
Fair,
straight
and,
guy.
and Laverne Cox is a star on whatever
Right.
fucking Candace Kane and all these guys.
Why? Because they're
God, you can't say
Because-
guys.
they're playing the
I
game.
meant guys as in general. Because
they're
they
beautiful
were
women.
male-born women.
Oh, they still have the.
They were born with it. Either way, doesn't matter whether they still have it or not.
No, I don't mean that. I mean they
They
still have
the
privilege.
Yeah,
Right.
They get to make that decision.
That's what I was saying about
that
Caitlyn
is
Jenner.
Yeah. Whereas men, who are
They
born
don't
with
wanna, like-
titties
yeah.
and a vagina,
You'd be like, oh, dude.
are called.
I mean, I got in a
ridiculous.
fight with this, Facebook. This guy I grew up with says to me, it's like when the gay marriage passed. All these like white Republican are like, yeah, well, it should have been passed. Can we just get the rainbow flag back? And and I wrote. We don't own the rainbow flag. The rainbow means equality for everyone.
Yeah.
Why don't you call the breast cancer people and ask for the color pink back?
Yes.
And the Democrats for the color blue back.
Yeah,
What the fuck? It's not about that. It's about. And so he says, "Well, I know. I even said to my daughter, I said, look, I love you no matter what you are, but I'm glad you're not gay." I go, that's like. I could say, I love. My mother could say to me, "I love you no matter what. Please don't be but please don't be a serial. I'm happy you're not a serial killer. I'm happy you're not a fuck. What the fuck?"
Yeah, that's really traumatizing.
Well,
because his daughter just learned at a very young age that she will never be allowed to be herself and be completely
Right, I'm
accepted by her
glad. So
father.
she'll know that
matter
her
what.
father
Yes,
will be
I know, it's
ashamed of her.
awful.
That's not.
And now
So
she has lots of secrets to hide from her
right,
dad.
and so she's probably not gay, but you know what I mean.
But still.
it's but saying that I love you no matter what, and then saying no, I don't.
Yeah. That's traumatizing.
Right. It's like...
Well, what about this thing like that people always say, like, oh, you're born gay, like, which I always think, like, who cares?
No, but you want to know what the thing
Like,
is?
why
This
is that
is my
such a
whole
thing?
theory.
Like, what does it
I
matter
was born
if you choose
gay.
it?
No, but you don't choose it. That's the thing.
don't.
You don't choose it because no one would. But
No
what
one
I'm
Why
saying
would
is
no one choose it?
Because nobody
because
wants
you don't
to be a
choose.
minority.
Like, can you choose to go be with a woman? Could you choose it? Say, I want to be in a relationship with a woman.
I feel like I could.
No, you couldn't. But here, if you're with Rich Voss, there's no fucking way you could ever be in a relationship with a
People
woman.
do, but
the
don't you agree that people are more fluid than that? Their
I
sexuality?
do believe they're allowed to be more fluid,
I think
and they
women are allowed to be more fluid,
Right.
and that's why women usually
And the men
can
are allowed
think
to
more
be.
like that.
Men can be fluid in the DT, whatever, where they don't tell anyone. But
DL, or they're
DL.
considered feminine men.
Okay, wait.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe the people who insist that being gay is a choice and are so adamant about that.
Are a little gay.
No. Will you let me finish?
Yeah. I'm
People
excited,
who are
sorry.
so adamant about, I know it's a choice, it is a choice, have made that choice. Because I'm telling you, as a gay person, there was no choice.
Right.
There was a
No,
choice.
I
There's
know
the
you're-
choice to be married
Absolutely.
and miserable and live in the
Right,
closet.
right.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm not trying
but
to
there is no
diminish
choice.
that at all.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I went into ex-gay therapy to not like chicks. Like,
Right.
I enrolled myself.
Oh, God.
I never told
I know.
anyone about it.
Right. I
See,
brought
I
it
mean,
out
I
of
just
him.
feel like, I just feel like whatever. I just, if you know, I know women who have been with in long-term relationships
Right.
with women, then they're with men, then they're back with women, and it's like I just really, you don't like
Then
that.
they're bisexual.
I thought you roll your eyes.
No, but I just feel like
I'm rolling my eyes because of how much importance we put on this shit. Like,
Right.
so what? That's
Yes,
great.
exactly. That's my point. Is
Yeah,
like
if
it
I'm gonna
doesn't
fuck a
matter.
dude, I'm gonna fuck a dude,
Right,
Because I
right,
want to,
right,
you
right.
know?
Okay,
Right.
we're done with this fuck a dude shit.
I still identify. as
I need to,
straight, but I'll
before
fuck a
we
dude if I
end,
want.
we have some questions. And first of all, I want to plug that you have a book coming out in February.
Yes. How do you know all this? You're
Because
so
I
good.
do.
It's called.
Do I not prepare?
You're good. You're really good.
What's the name of the book?
It's called "You're Better Than Me," and I talk about my growing up and the
Right.
getting into comedy and stuff.
Okay. And you have your podcast with
My Wife Hates Me.
Right.
With my wife.
And you have your
Who hates
Sirius
it?
radio show,
Called My Wife Hates Me Live.
Right.
Serious.
which I haven't been on in quite some time.
But we haven't had anyone back.
Okay.
Nobody's done it twice.
Anything else that you would like? You're going to this premiere tonight, and you have makeup
going to
on.
a premiere,
Yeah,
I'm
and
doing
so
makeup
what?
on.
Anything else you would?
I'm
like?
on a show on True TV called How to Be a Grown Up.
Right. I'm now not on True TV anymore.
Why?
I don't know. They canceled World's Dumbest, and now I'm not on the station anymore. It's fine. You have your fucking True TV show.
I didn't get World's Dumbest. Never got it.
Okay, but you have How to Be Grown Up.
How to Be a Grown Up, which is basically just a talking, you're just doing jokes about stacking the dishwasher and shit like that.
Right. And that's what World's Dumbest was. We would make comments about dumb people. Okay, and
That was a funny show. I
Thank
thought.
you. Yeah,
that
I
was
liked
a really
it.
good show.
okay, so you're doing stand up around the country.
Well, not
a
so
lot
much.
with Raina.
Yeah, I mostly in the tri-state area.
Right. And the book is going to be great because
I
you're a
hope
great
so.
writer. Is this
Anthony-
your first book?
Yeah.
First book.
Anthony Bourdain private tweeted me today and said it's really, really good because he's the guy. It's his imprint on HarperCollins. He's got an imprint called Echo. So
Yeah, I noticed that you're a little close with him because you were. I remember you were on some show with him down in. The
I
World.
roasted him a long time ago, and he
No, that's fine. You and
liked it.
Anthony can go fuck yourselves.
But I'm very
I
nervous
like him.
around him. I'm
I
very
like
nervous
him.
around him. And
I
then
like
Rich
him.
met him, and then it was like awful because I was like, I'm a little bit of a schoolgirl around
Right.
him, and then I was like, oh, and then Rich is being weird.
Right. I love Anthony Bourdain. I love him.
Yeah, he's great.
What, if any, we ask every guest this, medications you're on? Any antidepressants?
I'm not on anything.
What?
Zero.
This is the first time.
Zero.
Ding, 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 ding. You're a comic and you're not on any antidepressants.
No, I used to be, and I used
What
to
were you on?
suffer-
What were you on?
Wellbutrin.
Oh, I take that.
But I did suffer from. I still think I have. What is it called?
OCD, general anxiety disorder, ADHD, ADD. depression. What?
I'm spinning.
Yeah.
Vertigo.
Social anxiety disorder.
Really?
My father has it, and when he was diagnosed, it went like click, 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 click.
Oh, wow.
Like a lot of things went off. He gets so panicky, he'll faint and stuff.
Wow.
So anyway, I have that I've dealt with a lot with drinking. I don't do that so much anymore. But and then I used to get very, very depressed, and I read a book about food and depression, and it changed my fucking life.
What book? I gotta write that down.
I don't remember now. But
That's fucking great.
But it was about. I'll tell you exactly what it was about. It's about cutting sugar out of your fucking diet and really cutting back on wheat. And it really did fucking make a huge difference.
No,
in my
it's not
life.
the Atkins diet.
Is it diet for depression?
It might be. I mean, I literally read this 15, 20 years ago.
Okay, but I have to tell you, I know. I don't really eat a lot of sugar, but I do eat a lot of bread. I know that I should cut all this shit out, but I fucking love it so much.
I love it so much too. A bread, I could. It's. Like,
I mean, if I was on a desert island, challah would be one of my items that I would need.
Yeah. Well, because sometimes I'll be like having like a roll or something. I'll be like, oh, I'm being so bad.
I know. I
You
used
and
to.
your
It was
sister
never.
a loaf of bread.
Right, but it was never bad when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Now you get a plate of bread, you're like, no bread, no bread. Can I have it without a roll? No!
It was one
Right.
of the biggest things on the food pyramid.
Right.
But if you if
now
you
I've turned
limit
into a
your
pyramid.
wheat
Pyramid,
products to one meal, so you can't. The thing is that you can only eat it during. It's the carbohydrate addicts diet. That's what the book is.
me.
And so if you limit your carbs to 1 hour a day. So let's say you decide at your dinner time, that's when you can have your bread, you can have pizza, you can have whatever you want, but you don't, after an hour, you're not going to have any more wheat products. And it really did make a huge difference.
Can you shove them down your throat for an hour?
You can eat as much as you like. I mean,
Pizza eating contest.
But you don't, you get full really fast if you haven't had carbs all day.
Right. Oh, nice. It's a trick.
I've now been getting a shake. All right, this is getting so boring, but I do get a shake now at the gym with peanut butter and banana, and it's protein shake.
Yeah.
And it's good. Little skim milk.
Protein will fill you up for a long time.
That's right. I like it. But I love the bread.
Sounds good.
Bonnie, I hope you had a good time.
Wonderful. It was the
Really?
best. Yes, I loved it.
Because you're fucking great. And I
was not expecting that.
No, you're great. I think you're great, a great comic, and I'm so happy you're here without your husband because you are you're your own person. You do not, it's like, you're great on your own.
Thank you. Thank you, Judy.
I wish only success to you. And please tell everyone you know that you loved being on the podcast.
I love being on the podcast. I love you both.
Did you think that it's different? Do you think it's different than a lot of other people's podcasts, or is it the same?
I haven't done that many podcasts, but yeah, it's certainly nobody else has ever asked me questions about my life.
Right. I'm fascinated by people's lives. I don't want to hear about your career and you have this thing coming out and you did this. I love that. I think everyone has a story.
Oh,
and that's
absolutely.
What
I agree.
And I want to know what pisses people off because then they're really passionate. You know? And I'm always pissed off about something because I
think you should be. Like, that's the thing.
But it's like injustice. Injustice pisses me the fuck off.
There's so much of it. You should be pissed off.
All right.
We all.
Lauren, thank you for your feedback today. No pun intended. Oh, yeah, you're at Bonnie McFarlane. BonnieMcFarlane.
You got it.
That's your tweeter. What's your, do you have a Webby?
I don't really do anything else.
On the website? Do you have a website?
No, I don't have a website.
What about Facecock?
What's that?
Facecock. Facebook.
No.
No Facebook.
I mean, I do have a face. I mean,
I know. It's so much work.
I don't know what is going on.
I know. And
I really just read the news feed, and it's from people I don't know.
Right.
It's like I can't comment on anything because I don't know any of the people. I don't know what I'm doing.
That's fine. At least you have Rich and Raina. Thank you, Bonnie. Hope we'll have you on again in the future. Good luck to you. Gesund. And please, Bonnie, please get a fucking easy pass.
Thank you.
Bye-bye!
everything was wonderful. I'll see you soon. Thank you for the visit. So long.